Well, today we're finally going to do something with a six-wheel drive Land Rover. And I say six-wheel drive because we have a four-wheel drive over next to the junk pile there. In any case, this is just a quick job. We're going to change the headlight covers. This is slightly emotional because about a year ago I took a Land Rover fan to his last ride in a Land Rover. And some of his deceased estate was some Land Rover bits that I picked up recently. I recently reconnected with a family, had a bit of a chat to see what I could do to help him out, pay me respects. So in amongst his collection were some original Land Rover headlight covers, something I've been looking for a while. I was thinking of laser cutting some flat ones, but I think it's fitting that some parts out of his collection can go on his last ride. Yeah, fortunately, camera tripods are as they are. There are limited angles you can pick from doing this. I do have a mag base somewhere. Now, this video is probably more about the sentiment involved behind this. When I initially heard about this bloke and his wishes, he was still alive. And he was quite excited to hear that I'd agreed to do things. And the people that put me on to him, they know me quite well, and they said, you're really going to want to know this guy. He's a lot like you. And well, at the funeral I learnt a lot more about him, and he was very much a man with my own heart. He'd been a fire volunteer for a long time, and he'd been in, I think, in the full-time service. He'd been in military service. He'd done a lot of different things similar to what I'd done in the past. And it's a little bit difficult to talk about because one of the problems with multiple sclerosis is I have lost the ability to multitask somewhat. When you do this, you do have to be careful that this shield on the front doesn't fall off, but we'll show you on the other one when we do that. In any case, I digress. He was definitely a man with my own heart, a lot of similarities. He was a big bloke too, a lot like me. We had trouble fitting him in the back, despite discussing measurements a lot. But yeah, apparently the family hasn't quite had, or his wife rather, hasn't had quite the same level of respect since his passing, and I find that unfortunate. But in any case, I've been down to sort of see what I can do for the family. I should really put washers on these too. And they are helping to move on some of his collection of parts. He's got quite a lot of stuff he kept over the years. A lot of very interesting stuff, but unfortunately you can't keep everything when that happens. And I have put this on top of the tack plate holder. So what we're going to do here is just loosen the screws a bit, and hopefully we can wriggle it past there. Let's see how we go. Just loosen everything. You might be able to push up and over the top of that tack plate holder. Yeah, that didn't quite feel right. Okay, here we go. Don't over tighten these because it is after the all acrylic, and acrylic gets fragile, a little bit like glass. Right, so that is real time how long it takes to do one of these. Let's have a look over here. That looks, even though it's a little scuffed up, still looks way better than it originally did. I've still got original Lucas incandescents in here. I will probably go LED at some point. But let's go over and do the other side. Okay, we've got the good old wheelie bin tripod working here. So see how we go with this one. Now, I did buy a box of stuff, including some of these light fittings and things. You may notice the wrinkle that's in here. Maybe you can't see from the bull bar. That was from an unfortunate event a little while ago where I bent the bull bar and bent another car considerably more, and that's almost exactly a year. And I am about to finish my annual medical reviews that were the result of having that accident. See, this one's just busted off from that top screw. So yeah, it's emotions all around today. It's the old one. But yes, I have a quarter panel. I'm going to replace that. I've got to respray the panel. I've got some of the right coloured Protec paint to do that with. Somebody in one of the groups told me a little while ago that Protec weren't going to be making the coloured paints we need in a rattle can anymore, and then later found out he was wrong. So that was a bit of a scare for a bit. Looks like the spiders are enjoying the environment in here too. Wipe some of that out while we're in here. Now, keep in mind there are two little slots in here. These are for the headlight adjustments. When you put these back in, make sure you put them back in so they line up. Otherwise, you're going to have a bit of a fun time adjusting your headlights. Although realistically, it all comes off as one piece anyway. So we're going to put this on with the Land Rover logo at the bottom, so we don't look too dyslexic. There we go. This is the tricky bit, holding everything together for the first couple of turns. And we'll get this in this way, and we'll be nearly done. And then we might skip to the completed task, because you probably understand what I'm doing by now. Keep in mind to keep it above the tack plate holders. Not all Land Rovers have those. And yeah, we'll see you in a minute. Alright, last couple of turns on the screws here. I'm just going to nip them up till they're firm and not tight. So if you are curious about the whole preparations and whatnot for that funeral, I'll put some links in the description below. But yeah, we're going to say thank you very much to Clyde, and we'll be mentioning him again in a few more videos, because there's going to be some more stuff to do with these lights, and I'll probably end up with some other bits from Land Rovers at some point too. So we'll see you in the next one, and hopefully it's a little less somber.